Well, good morning from Melbourne, Tony Lyall.
Good morning. Yes, due to the miracle of technology, I'm able to, connect in across the oceans, across the seas, and basically just, carry on working.
Any grievances to pass on as obviously can be a stressful time going through customs on both sides of the country. Obviously, exiting's a little easier, but entering Australia, you weren't frisked or examined or digitally assaulted?
No, I was not digitally assaulted, and for me, that's actually an incredible compliment to get digitally penetrated by a member of customs. No, I just had the classic flight delayed by multiple hours, and I was already committed to driving to the airport at that stage, which is the worst time to get it. Yeah. So you already know you're going. So I got there, had to wait around 2 hours, and I was coming straight over to do some stand-up comedy, and I wasn't cutting it fine to start with, but geez, I was cutting it fine by the end of it. I literally went from the airport, went straight through customs, absolutely hoofed it past all the slow-walking boomers on the flight, filled out all my forms online, bought my Skybus ticket online on the plane while we were waiting to get off, went straight through customs, and can I just say, the Melbourne customs line, efficiency plus. I was in and out of there in about 3 minutes, straight to the Skybus, on the bus, got off the bus in the middle of Melbourne, jumped on an Uber bike. The Uber bikes are a phenomenon. They've got the e-bikes everywhere. Absolutely hoofed it straight down the main street to the comedy club. Got there and was on stage with about 4 minutes to spare before I walked on stage. So I was fairly delirious by the time I actually got up and was doing stand-up. Kind of forgot where I was. It was quite surreal, to be honest. But I realize this is quite a long yarn now, but I did see something miraculous on the plane as we were waiting to dismount, I guess that's the word. You know the awkward bit where you've landed? Yeah, you've landed, and we were down the back, and everyone is sort of like keen to get off, and you've kind of got to awkwardly stand up and kind of like you're hiding a boner, like half bent over because you can't stand up. And I didn't hear what the commotion was, but I just heard an old man say to a random lady, he just says, "Well, I think you're being a fucking bitch." Right to her face. And everyone was aghast. Everyone was like, oh. People like covering kids' ears and covering their eyes. And they were really getting into it. I think maybe she'd pulled something down and it landed on him or something like this. They didn't know each other. And they were really like having a good old-fashioned verbal altercation. But then the most beautiful thing happened because they sort of like, it resolved.
They kissed.
But then they had to stand there beside each other for like 8 more minutes. As they awkwardly go, oh. So anyway, how long are you in Melbourne for? It was really great watching them try not to make eye contact for the remainder of the awkward stand. And then when they could finally move, the lady gave the biggest that I've ever seen, just a huge disgusted groan, and then off she wandered.
Oh, very good. Okay, we've got a bit to talk about, Tony Lyall, because a bit of news has come out around the South African tour, both good and bad. But we'll get into it live from the Export Beer Garden studio. This is the agenda for Thursday, the 20th of August.
The Agenda Podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
Now, in a massive cowardly act, Tony Lyall, there is 4 test matches in this series. There's 3 in South Africa and then the moneymaker, the add-on and the bolt-on in Baltimore. So as a result, last night, Sean Fitzpatrick and a few other old players were at the unveiling of the trophy they're playing for. And in a cowardly act, because it's 4 test matches, they're scared it's going to be tied 2-2 and they don't know what to do with the trophy. So this kind of diamond-shaped trophy is connected by magnets. And if they do split it 2-2, they're going to get half each.
And I mean, boomers say that millennials are too woke and you get a participation trophy. I mean, this is outrageous. By the way, this is the first I'm hearing of this news live on the pod. I did see that you could break the trophy in half, but I thought that was sort of like to symbolize the two nations coming together, and it was like a symbolic gesture. I didn't know they could actually snap it in half.
So if it's a tie, they take one half each. I mean, and they're saying, because it's a 4-match test. Like, as we proved against the Lions, you can still draw a 3-match test series and have to share the trophy. So
they should the last game should go to Golden Point or whatever. If there's, 2 games and we've won, I don't know, does that make sense? Yeah. I don't know how that works.
Well,
it doesn't work at all.
Do you know what? They should just play the 3 test matches in South Africa and just say it what it is. The bolt-on in Baltimore is the moneymaker. Just let that be a festival of rugby. And just have it's the 3 test matches in South Africa everyone cares about. Because if New Zealand win the test matches 2-1 in South Africa and then go to Baltimore and lose and then they share the trophy, I still think we've won the series. You know,
snapping 100%. If we're winning 2 away test matches, and then who cares about what happens in Baltimore? It's hilarious. The idea. Is there a movie where they like snap the tiara in half so that both of the main female characters can be the prom queen? This is so funny to build in a split trophy. And imagine when they do it, the ceremony. Do they both have to stand there, Sia Khaleesi and Ardie Savea, and they tug on it. lift their half of the trophy?
And then it splits up. They tug on it and it breaks apart. I mean, Manai Stewart had a great idea. He said, scrap all these trophies and like kind of the superheroes. Is it some Marvel character where you have a stone and you've got to collect all the stones from around the world to complete the shield. And once you complete the shield, then you've won everything. So, but if you lose to a team, you lose your little stone that fits in the shield.
Yeah,
and
you're
goes
connecting.
To that team.
You're connecting. You've got, and everyone's got a wee goblet, one of those fists that they have in Avengers, and you've got to build up their stones.
Yeah,
I think that's not a bad shout. And then the one to finish them all is the World Cup stone, and that slots in, and that activates all the other possible. I think that's a good option. It does seem insane to go. Listen, we did do the shameless cash grab, so we're gonna have to have this be disconnectable. And I did see they wheeled out Sean Fitzpatrick out there, the Silver Fox. And it must be a real who's who of clingers on and people now just sucking at the teat, pouring in to South Africa, who are just there for those long lunches, reliving the glory days. Some of these players, by the way, it's almost as if they haven't done anything in the subsequent 30 years that they've been alive since they've played. They're just, apart from doing long lunches and talking about how it was better when you could sink piss during a midweek of a test.
So I've got our sources. The teams haven't been announced yet, annoyingly. Mainly annoyingly for my punting, actually. I just want to get a good look. But according to our sources, Tony Lyall, according to our sources over there in South Africa, this is the All Black team to come out in the first test match. In the front row, we've got I Am Groot, Cody's 8%, and Son of John, Tyrell Lomax.
Yeah, no surprises there.
Yeah. Josh Lord of the Flies and Paddy Toops are going to be your second row. Tupu Vai, the Mahi Monster, American Dad, and Ardie Savea are your loose forwards. Camroids, the Love Muscle, are your halfback first 5. Left wing is Josh Morby, the human Shrek, the Udon Noodle, Geordie Barrett at 12. Always blowing the Quintu Pyre at 13. Will Jordan on the right wing. And D-Mac at fullback is the predicted starting team. And then you got Asafa Amor, Xavier Numia, Fletcher Newell, Anton Segner, Peter Lakai, Kyle Preston, Anton Dobro, and probably looking at Bodie Barrett on the bench as well. And potentially maybe Fabian Holland on the bench as well, but I'm not sure. They've got 2 loose forwards there, and Peter Lakai and Segner. So that's the other contender here as well.
Yeah, I can't see Segner and Peter Lakai being on that reserves bench. I think they'll probably have a lock there that they can slide. Oh, I guess you got Tupu Vai, don't you, who can slide on over and replace. So maybe that will be the case. But yeah, it'd be good to see. I wish they just bloody announced the team already.
I know.
I don't know what they're up to over there, just sort of lurking around in the shadows as if there isn't a whole lot of interest in this test.
Because you can change it.
Hey, guys,
just change it. You can change it.
Just announce it. It's not going to change anything. If we'd woken up and it had been in our inbox 9 a.m. today, we'd have a full day's media coverage of the All Blacks, and that'd be what everyone's talking about. But instead, they're like, no, we'll do it at 2 a.m. when no one's paying attention. It's probably a decent shout. Yeah,
and also, I mean, they got the 3 a.m. kickoff, which everyone knows about. But also, you might have a chance to watch Sail GP at the same time because the Black Foils are in action in Germany around the same time. We talked to Pete Burling this morning on the Hodaki Breakfast Show, and he was saying that it's on about the same time. So they're trying to work out how they can watch it and whether they can just get our commentary piped in through the coach's radio on the support boat. He said it would be dangerously distracting, but they're willing to give it a go in between races.
Well, I feel like they crash into each other when they're not listening to the alternative commentary collective. So maybe they should focus on sailing the boat. But I mean, that would be another first, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
To be the first commentary team being piped directly onto a Sail GP boat.
Yeah, it was good talking to them. Actually, they're back in action after absolutely putting their boat to the bottom of the Wairemata earlier in the year. Right, in other news, we'll talk more about the rugby once the team's named, but it's certainly ramping up. And other big news for the F1 heads, and no doubt Matt Heath will want to get stuck into this in F1 Corner tomorrow, but Liam Lawson's been called up to Red Bull Racing to partner with Van Strap-on for his home Grand Prix, the Dutch Grand Prix this weekend, because Isaac Hadjar has hurt his wrist boxing.
I mean, come on, brother. It's the one thing you need is your hands if you're a Formula One driver. But I guess you'd take it for Liam. It's one of those ones, I wonder how he feels about it. He was obviously unceremoniously dumped from the top team after being announced as the next player and ruining his relationship with the entirety of South America in the process. Still to this day, anytime you see any of his posts, it's just full of people from South America telling him to eat shit and die.
Yeah, calling him a son of a whore.
Yeah, they're still going with it. And so he's been called back up. And I wonder if he's like, you know what, I actually preferred it not being in the spotlight so much. I was actually doing pretty well. Although I wonder if it still is, I'd be interested to hear from him genuinely. Obviously in the press conference, he's going to say this is the dream. This is the ideal is to be in that top team. But I wonder if he's like, actually, it's pretty sweet in that second team.
Yeah, I mean, he outpaced Isaac Hadjar last year, and then Isaac Hadjar's been promoted to the Red Bull team. So you'd like to think, and he's doing all right, Isaac Hadjar, in terms of points. He's just ahead of Lawson in the points. So it'd be interesting to see, because I don't know enough about Formula One to work out what the difference, because to me the cars will look the same except for their paint jobs. That's for me. I'm so naive. They're just like the same cars, just different colours. So I got no idea, and I'm sure there is, and that's why it's the Red Bull car is notoriously quite hard to drive, because it's set up for strap on and all that. But so it's going to be interesting to see how he goes, because imagine if he podiumed. How good would that be? And then he went. It would be and then went
unreal.
went back to Racing Bulls the next week for another race. Oh, that was fun. Podiumed and then back again.
It would be the dream to get that set up. Obviously, it's the Dutch Grand Prix, so all roads lead to Max. The team will be doing all they can to get him as close to the front of the action, and that'll be Liam's job as well. They'll be like, we need you to basically get in there and run a block play, run the distraction line, trying to just get in as much as you can and spoil it so that Max can get in. Because there's a lot of those other cars are probably just a bit quicker at the moment, but Max is Max, so it adds a bit of spice, and I think it's kind of just what F1 needed at the moment. It's gone to that sort of holding pattern almost for me.
Yeah,
and the summer break as well. So a good way to come out of the summer break. A good bit of movement in the teams. I don't know who's sliding into his seat at Racing Bulls.
Yeah, that's Sonoda, who is the reserve driver for Red Bull.
Yuki's back.
Yeah, Yuki's going to go race for Racing Bulls. So watch out, Liam Lawson, because Yuki Sonoda he's going to come at you and look to T-bone you at any opportunity, because he should be in that seat at Red Bull. But the Red Bull people have said, I think Liam's better. Let's stick him in there.
Well, I guess it makes sense if you've got a reserve driver who hasn't been racing and you've got a guy who is racing. You go, well, essentially we've got one reserve driver for two teams is the setup at this point. So up you go, Liam, and deservedly so. I mean, he's been racing well. He's been in and around the points kind of all year. I'd say the best he's looked in a while, and I guess he's just got a bit more control. So, hell yeah, it's good to see him out there doing it.
And there's a sprint race as well coming up for that one, though. I don't really understand what the sprint race is. It's just a short F1 race the day before.
Yeah, just a short F1 race the day before.
Just a little chode beforehand. Quickly touch on, because we've got the first game of the NPC tonight in this fourth round, and that is the second Ramfleet Shield Challenge for Canterbury. It's scrum and based tonight at Takaha against Northland. Who are you going for?
Northland. I would love to see Northland go down there and take the shield. I saw a crazy stat that Northland haven't had the shield since like 1978 or something like this, which seems unbelievable to me. But don't quote me on the year, but some year that is a long time ago. And also a good stat that it's been maybe 15, 16 years since the shield changed hands on a Thursday. I think there's only been maybe 4 or 5 challenges on a Thursday in total. And 3 of those times the defender has won it, and only once it was snaffled away. And I think it was snaffled away from Canterbury.
Yeah, was it with the Mooloos? I think the Mooloos might have nicked that. So that's on tonight, 7 o'clock from Takaha, scrum and base. Sounds like go there and chew your face off if you're down there. I think they're trying to appeal to the students.
Very disappointed to see. I went to jump online and make a sort of 10-headed spider on TAB, but of course I'm in a different country. I forgot it doesn't work.
Oh, no, you've got to. If you can do it on your phone. Have you tried it on your phone or not your laptop?
That's where I tried it, and it didn't seem to work because I'd built a multi for the All Blacks as well, and I was waiting for first try scorer to come out, which obviously it hasn't because the team isn't named. So now I've got a half multi sitting there dead on my phone, and I can't activate it. Which, to be honest, it's probably actually saved me a lot of money. So in the end, it's probably for the best.
Do you want me to put it on for you? You've sent me the money. I promise you I'll put it on.
What about you put it on, and I promise you I'll send you the money?
That's the Matt Heath way of doing it. So Matt Heath, every year for the Melbourne Cup sweepstake in the office, everyone puts in $5. He goes, I'll give you an IOU, and just hopes he wins, and then we'll pay you back if he wins. And if he doesn't win, you never see the money.
Yeah, there's no IOU. I used to run the Melbourne Cup sweepstake when I worked at the television show The Project, and so I'd do it every year, and I had the rule no IOU because once people's incentive to pay once they've lost it's through the roof. So after a couple of years, I was like, no IOU, got to be the cash. And one year in particular, I was doing it. We had a couple of horses left, and I thought I'd go down and see the hosts if they wanted to get in on it. And just so happened to be that night, Reece Darby was the 4th host. So I went down to the desk and to, your Jesse Mulligans, your Carno Alloys, your Jeremy Corbett. I was like, hey, do you guys want to get in on this action? And I think they were all pretty keen. So they all gave me $5. And then Reece Darby was like, wow, go on. I'll get in amongst it. And so he put $5 on. The horse, so, you draw a horse at random.
Yep.
Race runs. I have a look at who's won. Oh, it's Reece Darby. So, what was built to be sort of a team building between the people who work there on a regular basis, what happened was we all just gave a multi-millionaire who's got more money than the rest of us combined our hard-earned dollars. And it really, killed the buzz. Everyone was like, Reece Darby won. Oh, God.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was, and I kind of thought when I went up to him, I was like, you won. Thought he might be like, don't worry about it. You guys keep it. Boop, boop. Classic Reece Darby stuff. But he was like, oh, great. And just took the money and left.
I love that. Great, thanks.
Pocketed the cash. I really thought he might have kicked it back and been like, go buy yourself something nice, or buy some pizzas for the team, or but no, he just took the money and chucked it in his pocket, jumped in his rocket ship, and off he went.
Oh, very good. Hey, we'll take a quick break here because an Australian tennis legend has been caught on the nose beers. So Nick Kyrgios, our favorite, one of my favorite tennis players, especially after that first Netflix series where they focused on Nick Kyrgios, who I came across as someone who did not give a shit about. He played the majors, couldn't be bothered with the small tournaments. He is facing a potential 2-year ban from tennis after testing positive for nose beers. The Australian has admitted he made a huge mistake, apologising to his fans, being raw and honest, and he's apologised to his family and his sponsors, and especially the kids who look up to him.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those news stories. When I saw this flash across the news ticker, it's the least surprising news story of all time. When you're like, the guy who's super erratic and sort of plays by his own rules, turns out he's been, whacking some nose beers. You're like, I totally buy it. I also think he could be one of the most talented athletes that exists. He's one of the guys who you're like, man, if you just applied yourself, if you had a Richie McCaw work ethic, you could win a major, surely. You're just come on, man. But it's
only 31.
No surprise.
He's only 31. I thought he was so much older than that.
Well, I guess he's been around for a decade in the top flight, probably longer. He was probably out there as a teenager, as an 18, 19-year-old, because he's that prodigious. But it's not surprising, to be honest, and especially in Mallorca is very funny to be. Again, I'm just in the camp of who cares. Oh, it's not performance enhancing.
That's what I was thinking.
It doesn't.
I was going to ask. It doesn't matter. Have you ever played tennis on? Have you ever played tennis on nose beers?
I can only imagine it would be very satisfying if you connected a shot. It would be or you'd feel good about yourself.
You'd be so distracted. You'd be so distracted by anything else. You'd be coming up with podcast ideas and, texting new business ideas while you're out there, and or maybe shouting them at your manager in the little box or your coach.
He's like, we've got to invest in Bitcoin.
Yeah, no, good. Oh, man, we should do a podcast together. I think we should do a podcast together. But do you think he was over in Ibiza for a bit and then kind of popped into Mallorca for this tournament and just maybe got the timing wrong?
Yeah, just didn't give himself a big enough stand down period. Didn't do enough runs. You got to sweat it out. That's the key with these sort of things in your system. And I just don't care. I think it's not one of the drugs that it's in no way performance enhancing. It's not like he was doing it before the game. I also think in these instances, when they come out with the public apology, I think you can say I'm sorry, but I don't think you can say I made a mistake. You're like, it's not like you backed into a power pole. You're like, you made it a decision. It's not a mistake to do it. You're like, probably I made the wrong choice. But to be like, I did a whoopsie, it's like a funny way to get out of it. You go, mate, no one's judging you really for like, it's a bad thing you did. Like, just say, hey, listen, shouldn't have done it. My bad. We'll move on.
I also, if you have got a child out there who looks up to Nick Kyrgios, you probably need to take them aside and maybe refocus who their role models are. So I can't imagine there's a heap of kids rolling around wanting to be Nick Kyrgios, i.e. kind of underperform.
Yeah,
this guy here,
this
underperformer here is my hero.
He's flashy, It is funny to think that, you model your game after him, and by that, every game.
Oh, yeah. So meanwhile, there's a little bit of other going on. A US tennis player's gone viral. People are obsessed that she was drinking a beer at the end of her set. It looks dangerously like a beer. Like, it's got a bit of a foamy top on it. It's an amber colored liquid. But so it was in the Cincinnati Open, and she came from a set down in the round of 32. But it wasn't the win, obviously, everyone was talking about. Spectators were left confused when she was spotted courtside drinking what appeared to be a fizzy drink from a plastic cup. Now, if it is beer, it's the greatest redemption arc of all time, because she is down a set, sits down, buries a beer, and then wins the game with the greatest comeback of all time. But hasn't confirmed nor denied what it was.
Yeah, I've just got it up here. I just had a little look. It looks like a brewski, and I think it doesn't help that it's in a beer cup. Like, if that was in a sports drink bottle, the same liquid, you wouldn't bat an eyelid. But she's got like the humiliating plastic cup that you've got to put your beer in at a sports stadium, like, because you can't have a can in case you throw it to the back of someone's head. So I think that's really what makes it look like a beer. But you can drink a beer, but you can't do cocaine?
Yeah, well, no. Apparently, you're not allowed to drink alcohol during a game. It's an ATP rule.
Yeah,
and for me,
it can only make it harder.
That's what I mean. It's like, surely if I'm playing tennis, a professional tennis player, and my opposite just nicks a beer, I'll be like, this guy, he's not taking it seriously.
Go crazy. Yeah. If he's over there doing shots every time he misses a shot, he's like, oh, one for me, one for you. He's turned it into. Or if you start like putting beer cups around the field, around the court, you make like a human beer pong.
Or you make a snake. So you got a beer, you got a beer snake coming out of your bench. But
I think anything you do to hinder your performance should be totally allowed. Like, if someone wants to play in bare feet, that's fine. If you want to rip a couple of beers, that's sweet as. If you want to play without your glasses, if you wear glasses, like, who's going to the opposition's like, mate, fill your boots.
Also, here's the commentators. They were dangerously suspicious.
To Anisimova settling down. What is that, Lindsay?
Could it be apple cider, Brett?
I mean, I would never suggest that a player was drinking a beer in the middle of a match, but
I am.
I've never seen that.
That's certainly what it looked like.
Oh, that's good stuff.
That happened midway through the second set on a changeover, we noticed.
I mean, it could be non-alcoholic. It could be cider. It could be anything. We don't know.
Well, non-alcohol. Cider's an alcohol. They know that. Eh?
Yeah, I love that he's like non-alcoholic or cider, And they're like, that there's alcohol in cider. He's like, what? No, I've been ripping 6 and driving home. That's one of the great pieces of audio when the commentator just goes, What is that?
I love
It's
it.
beautiful.
Throws Lindsay Davenport under the bus. What is that, Lindsay? She's like, he looks like a cider or something.
And so no confirmation. No one's asked her what it was.
So get a beer sponsor in behind her because I mean she's probably won herself so many more fans now, regardless of whether it was a beer or not. It looked like one. She hasn't come out and said it's not. I mean, it could have just be a fizzy electrolyte drink. Let's be honest, it was just fuzzed up a bit. But why was it in a beer cup?
Got a bit of froth on it.
Why was it in a beer cup?
Got a bit of froth on it.
Yeah.
It does look like maybe her coach was ripping a beer and she was like, "Give me that. I want to go have a." And she kind of drinks it a little bit. She's being a little bit secretive, right? It's sort of hidden in a towel, and she kind of brings it up. It's not like she's walking around holding it.
I had a similar experience in terms of someone just grabbing your beer. Storm Purvis was working the very first Auckland FC match at Go Hard Stadium, and she was doing all the colour pieces, so she had to go up into the port area. Yes. And before I was chatting away to her, and I had a beer in my hand. She was all working for Sky Sport, all dressed up. It was me and Mania and Joe just sitting there with the beers, and she just looked at me, grabbed my beer, nicked half of it, gave it back, and then just to pluck up the courage, and then just stormed into the port area. It's one of the greats. It's like, give me that, bang.
That is nice. You do want to get a little bit of a breath on about you when you're going into those deep dark areas in the stadium. I mean, unfortunately for you, that would have cost you about $14.50.
Yeah, it did actually. Hey, speaking of hydration, the Premier League in England have made it very clear that there will be no hydration breaks in the EPL.
Fair enough.
Yep. And also the VAR will not be going as far as it did in the World Cup because obviously the Premier League are like, whatever the World Cup was, we do not want to be that. We don't want to have ad breaks everywhere. We don't want to be going back and looking at everything before the goal to disallow the goal. So anyway, that's news from there. Even yellow card reviews are limited to identifying the right player, not litigating the offence.
Which I think is great, and that's nice because this is football. People, they're the purest sport in the EPL. I did also see, along with that news, is that they won't receive yellow cards for covering their mouth. So it is nice to know that you can still throw a racial slur out there in the EPL with your mouth covered and get away with it. I think that's what us football purists want.
But you could be, it's a bit like rugby, when they're doing the line-out calls. You probably can't hear, so you go like that it's not every person who puts their hand over their mouth is ripping a racist comment, surely, or are they just all racists?
I think a lot of them are, to be fair. A lot of them are throwing it down with a hand covered. But yeah, I think it's one of those ones when you just end up sending players off and having players appeal for it. I mean, in that final, Messi, appealing for a yellow card when someone sort of covered their mouth.
What if you burp?
The worst part of the sport.
What if you go? You got to cover your mouth.
What if you sneeze?
Yeah.
You're not allowed to cover your mouth. Yeah. You just got to go full new dad, like, just sneezing out in the open. Yeah.
Anyway, that kicks off.
Otherwise, you get yellow carded.
That kicks off this weekend, the EPL. So, if you're an EPL fan, if you've got your team in the EPL,
Liverpool. Liverpool's my team. Always has been.
Yeah, someone asked me when I was over there, and I panicked a little bit because I didn't really have a team. But my parents at the time were living in Reading, so I'm like, Reading Royals.
Great.
Reading Royals. At the time, they were in the Premier League. Not anymore. Not anymore. The Reading Royals, they suck ass. But I have to say Reading.
Well, because I almost have an element of a shame attached to mine because a lot of people, I've supported them since I was about Form 1. My friend, Zach Hines, shout out Zach, he had a Liverpool shirt.
Yeah.
And, I've said before, it doesn't take much when you're 10 or 11 to latch on to a team. So I just was like, well, he likes Liverpool. I like Liverpool too. So, and we had the thin years for a long time, but now everyone loves Liverpool. You go along to like the, kids football and it's Liverpool shirts as far as the eye can see. Of course, a few good seasons in a row, and you kind of have to be like, I've actually liked them for quite a long time.
Oh yeah, you're one of those. Yeah, you're one of those ones. Like all the people that when Manchester United are going on their run, and they're like, mate, I've been Manchester United for like 50 years, mate. For 40 years. And it was like, yeah, whatever, mate, whatever.
But especially because I would consider myself a fairly casual fan. Like I'm not getting up in the middle of the night to watch.
You want to fight like you're not running around talking like a Liverpoolian. You want to fight like
going, hey, you want to fucking headbutt, man?
Yeah,
you want to headbutt, man?
You walk around in your shell suit.
But yeah, so you don't want to be like, I just support them because they're good for you. I guess the current wave that Arsenal is on now. How you see a lot of people running around in Arsenal shirts, a lot of kids out there. They're sort of the team to follow currently.
Can't back the ass. Can't back the ass. I don't know about it. Something around I can't get him behind.
I've got a bit of a soft spot for the ass, I do have to say. I've got a bit of a soft spot for the ass.
I can't get him behind the ass. I'm sorry. No, I don't know why. Anyway, it's some sort of mental block that I've got. We're going to take.
There are teams that are hard to support. There are some teams that are definitely tough to get behind. I think Arsenal. I get it. I can see why.
We're going to take a quick break, and we've got the last of. Oh no, just not the last of. It's not Friday, is it? It's Thursday. Jesus. We've got yours, pleases, to get through. 10 of them today, where you contribute to the potty. So we're back in just a moment.
Yours, please. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
Right, just some admin to start it off with for everyone out there, the Agendarati, the Goon Tuggers out there. You can join our Insider newsletter, which we give. We send out kind of every fortnight or so. If we get any ticket deals or anything else, or inside goss, we'll let you know. Just text Insider to 3236 and join up. And if you're listening, please chuck us on auto download, auto subscribe, whatever it is, on Spotify, Apple, or iHeartRadio. Get on Apple and give us 5 stars and slag us off. And also you can press the microphone button and be part of the pod, like this person.
Yeah, well, hi, Gazaimas. Just a question I thought I would ask the panel. Look, I'm not about body shaming, but does Steve Smith have the worst athletic body for an athlete? Like, he's got a front tyre. 2, he's got like 2 little front tyres for his moves. And then he just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a dick. Anyway, Uru.
He's not in great nick.
I missed the name and shame. Who was the name?
Oh, Steve Smith. Steve Smith.
Oh.
Yeah.
My brain auto-corrected to Ian Smith, and I thought, yeah, he has gone to the dogs, to be honest.
Nah, Smudge. Look, I'm no Kate Moss either. I mean, looking back on footage of me playing for the ACC team against the Movember team at the Basin Reserve, it's like, oh, God. But for someone who's playing international cricket, he does go up and down. If you go way back when he first started playing state cricket, Steve Smith, he was a leg spinner, batted a bit.
Yeah. And
he was a big unit. And he lost a lot of weight, and so I think he goes up and down, Steve Smith. But you're right. It's not a. He's probably going through a bit of a fluctuation at the moment.
He certainly is. He has been for a couple of years actually, and I think he does himself no favors by employing the tuck technique. Like, he has an unfortunate tuck line that doesn't flatter the thorax that he's blessed with. He needs to just run an untucked shirt, and honestly, I think it would go a long way to making him look like he isn't a big old slug, because he's got a slug on it at the moment.
Isn't that a beautiful thing about cricket? That you can, like, no way you could get away with being mildly out of shape playing NRL or rugby union or any other professional sport. With cricket, you can still run you look at the likes of Travis Head. He's no oil painting either. But he smacks it round. You looked at kind of the Jesse Riders of the world when they were playing, the David Boones, Graham Gooch, all those players. Big Merv Hughes was probably an anomaly, given the fast bowlers now are all athletes. You look at the Pat Cummins of the world and Southies and Bolts and the like. But batting-wise, you can still have a bit of a motor on you.
Yeah, you can. And, you don't want to body shame the fella, but I often think, geez, he must watch the highlights and go, oh, God, man, maybe I will lay off that second Koru Lounge brownie.
It will get you the Koru Lounge brownie. Anyway, next one.
It'll get you.
Yours, please.
Yeah, g'day old G Lane and Tony Fowle. Hey, we're just listening to old Gutter Black by Hello Sailor here.
Yep.
And I'm just thinking, what a great night for New Zealanders. The Warriors won. The All Blacks are fucking everyone up.
Yep.
And you know what? The Magpies are winning. Go to fucking Hawke's Bay. And you know what? I got a soft spot for the Southland Stags.
Yeah, we all do.
We're going to fuck up Waikato! that's my mate, and it's my other mate. So apparently he wants to fuck up Waikato.
Well, you did.
Fuck Waikato!
Yeah, you did. You did. Well, your mate did, actually. So there you go. Thanks for that. Tony Fowle seems to be the name they're giving you over there.
You don't love it. But I know that if you don't love something, it often inspires people to continue with it. So with that in mind, I'll say that I love it. I'm totally on board.
Tony on board, Tony Fowle. Okay. Well, thanks for that. That yours, please. Yeah. Next one, yours, please.
Cunts.
Yep.
Do you reckon the Australian Cricket Board have committed the ultimate fucking own goal by putting a test match in fucking Darwin?
Yep.
That's that far away from anything. There's not a hardware store in sight where they can get some fucking sandpaper to manipulate the ball. Go the bangers. Fuck those Aussie cunts. Up the wires.
Yeah,
I say cunts or cons.
Yeah.
Not sure.
Yep.
I think you said
Love you,
cons.
G-Lane.
I mean, thanks, babes. I think cons, we'll take both.
Well, I think they've got to play in Darwin due to the fact that it is August.
Yes.
And, you know, it's Test cricket in August, which is, and it's an outrageous prospect. And I'm currently behind enemy lines in Melbourne. And can I just tell you, it is a fucking shocker here right now. There's no way you're playing cricket at the G in August, that's for sure. It's 8:17 a.m. and currently we're sitting, it's actually not too bad, but rainy and 12 degrees. So it's not exactly get out and play some cricket weather.
Yeah, I mean, they've been making excuses. They've been saying that one former player came out and said that they're practically playing in Asia. They're not playing in Australia, which kind of mildly dismissive of the Bangers' performance because they beat them in every single session of that test match in Darwin.
It's also dismissive of Darwin as a place in Australia. You're
Totally.
like, what do you mean? Like, I know, I get it. You know, it's pretty close to Indonesia. Like, there's a lot of that part around and not far away. But you were like, it's still Australia. Just because it's the furthest away part from where you live doesn't mean it's not Australia.
And if it was turning square and keeping low, like in Bangladesh, then you go, oh, okay, maybe the conditions suited them. But their fast bowlers got the wickets in that first innings. And you know, they've got a spinner as well that's got over 500-600 test wickets. It's not like they've no slugs either. So they called a lot of people called for heads to roll Tony Lyall, and they chose one head. And that is Paul Wetherell, who's gone the opener, who's playing his home test match in Darwin. And he's been the sacrificial lamb, so he has been axed.
He was the one to go. He's like, guys, I'm playing at home. I thought it would never happen because you would never dream you'd end up playing Test cricket in Darwin if you were from Darwin playing for Australia. You finally get the baggy green. You can't believe your luck. You go up home, you get 19 runs or something, and then you get skittled, and then you get dropped in front of your family. It's the worst case scenario. And then off to Mackay next. So off to sort of the other, the two, like, you know, the top 2 points of Australia, the Northern Queensland version, which I imagine the climate is somewhat similar. Yeah,
it will be. So that starts on Saturday, that second test match. Doesn't get much easier for Australia. They head to South Africa for a test series away, and then they go to India as well, I believe, before coming back to face New Zealand. So they, depending how those series go, they could be coming back to Australia in turmoil, absolute turmoil, and either we'll be facing a new blooded team, a youth team as they build up into the Ashes, or an old team that is under heavy fire. So it's going to be fascinating.
Yeah, I've seen they've been doing the, the who's next, basically, lining up the next generation of Australian talent and how they're going to fold into the team. They're basically doing the obituaries of some of these older Australians during the matches.
Yeah, average age is 31, I believe.
So they're getting there. But I know that, you know, the Sam Constances of the world, like he was the young hero for a bit, came on and was trying to ramp everything, that ramped Bumrah in the first over. But I think that the New Zealand bowlers would look at a Sam Constance and be like, I'd much rather that than someone who's going to play shots.
Yeah, than Travis Head. Travis Head plays a similar way as well, I think.
Yeah. A little bit more foundation behind him.
Even Labuschagne, I think he's lucky to survive as well. Shot Marnus, he hasn't scored 100 in, I think, 3 years. Marnus, so I think he might be the next on the chopping block if they don't perform in this second test match. It's going to be a great weekend of just watching. I mean, especially Sunday, Tony Lyall, because we're commentating at 3 a.m. So I'll be home by 5 a.m. and I might spend the rest of the day on the couch watching Australia play Bangladesh. That'll be me done.
It's not a bad way to do it. I haven't quite worked out how time works yet. If I'm 2 hours behind you, does that mean it's 1 a.m. over here? Or does that mean it's 5 a.m.?
Nah, you're 1 a.m. over there.
That's actually not too bad.
Yeah, that's not too bad. The 3 a.m.'s a shitter. Jeez, it's a shitter. Anyway, we'll see how this goes this weekend. what kind of state we're in. Next one. Yours, please.
Yeah, g'day fellas, Jake here. Look, I've just started to notice a trend in the sporting world where teams have gone from naming a bench or a reserves list to be calling it an impact. Players, are they too soft? Are they too fragile to be named on the bench? Does it hurt their feelings? Does it need to be called impact? Does that put too much pressure on those impact players to make impact on said game? Yours, please.
Oh, thanks, Jake, from Ealing Station, I presume. I think it's changed because back in the day, your reserves bench were reserve injuries. Like there were some games where the whole bench would not play any games because you could only go on for an injury replacement back in the day. And when it changed that kind of professional area to it is now where you can do replacements, it's more tactical, Tony Lyall. So that's why they're impact. That's why they're known as impact players and not reserves. Because they're not reserves.
I think it was Eddie Jones maybe who got in there and sort of changed the game. He changed the language around it, and it's one of those things that's probably come from some sort of mental skills coach of like, listen, we've got to enable the players on the bench. We don't want them thinking like they're substitutes. We want them thinking like they're impact players. So it's all PR and rebranding.
Yeah.
For me, so that they feel like they've got a place. You're not bumming anyone out by being like, listen, you're not on the reserve bench because you're worse than this guy. You add a different element to him later in the game. Because I've always thought that Damien McKenzie, who I love, by the way, I'm not a DMAC hater. I love Damien McKenzie, but I've always thought he's better in an All Blacks environment off the bench in that impact role, coming on with sort of 10, 15 minutes to go and carving up
Tired
when everyone
players.
else is knackered. I think Bodie Barrett did it for half his career. I think one of the biggest impact players that All Blacks had, and he only played a handful of games, but Ngani Laumape, when he was at his prime, he would come on and just smash the shit out of teams for sort of 5 or 10 minutes. It was, that's true impact.
Yeah. And look, traditionally, if you're a reserve hooker, for example, when you were behind Sean Fitzpatrick, who was was it Warren Gatland? Norm Hewitt, Warren Gatland, that kind of vintage. They got bugger all test matches because they sat on the bench and he only made it on if they were injured.
I wonder if Norm Hewitt, this is off the top of my head, maybe I'll research this, is the player who sat on the bench for the most games for the All Blacks. Because you got the All Blacks captain in hooker in front of you, you're hanging out, you're not getting on. Because there really was the no sub era where I think you were only allowed to go on if it was an injury replacement.
I think
so he must have teed up, I
think Frano Bodica spent a lot of time on the bench behind Grant Fox.
Of course,
a lot of time.
He was uninjured consistently from never taking it up.
yeah. So interesting. So I think I think it's a mixture of PR and almost functionality as well in terms of how reserves are used. They're not reserves anymore. They are tactical replacements at certain times of the game.
Because you wouldn't, if you get named now in the 23, if it's your debut, you're playing. Like no one's ever not playing.
Yeah.
Even if it's only you're still getting, decent minutes as well. Sort of you'd be unlucky to get less than 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Jake from Ealing Station. Next one, yours, please.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not a fan of Tony Lyall. He looks like a gimp. His stand-up's no good. Maybe a 6 out of 10 at best.
Jesus.
But hearing that David Bain look like rail off against AI and people who use AI to make their posters was probably the best thing he's ever done. On you, Tony.
Right.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate. He's done compliment toast there, which is it's like when you do a compliment sandwich, but you leave the top layer of bread off. So some people go compliment, massive insult, compliment. He's gone massive insult, compliment, which it doesn't taste as good as the sandwich, but I'll take it.
I mean, look, the Generati or the Goon Tuggers, often you'd be lucky for any filling in that sandwich, to be honest, Tony Lyall. Usually it's
just
two pieces.
Negative bread.
Yeah.
It's just hurtful bread.
Normally it's go fuck yourself, followed by someone else's mana. Stick it in your RC lane. So, I mean, that's almost a club sandwich with no filling. It's just 3 bits of hate bread.
It's 3 bits. It's like a duck's breakfast there. Yeah. 3 bits of bread. I mean, that is the recipe for a yours please, isn't it? It's right there. It's go fuck yourself, stick it in your ass G lane, and then something mana.
Yeah, someone else's mana.
That's the formula.
Yeah, that's right. So you take what you can get. Next one, yours please.
I can certify you as lifeguards. I'm qualified to put people through their bronze lifeguard awards. Come down to Omanu Surf Club in Tauranga.
Nice.
I reckon we can slip you through. It is a 3-weekend course, but yeah, some of the talent that I've passed over the years, you guys would fly through. And I know exactly why there's no lifeguards there. Lifeguards are the worst of us when it comes to getting on the piss, and they would have all been hungover and called in sick.
Ah, there you go, Tony Lyall. Because it was a Sunday, wasn't it?
It was a Sunday.
Yeah.
So that does make a lot of sense. Although, how can you not? It's the easiest job in the world to be hungover for. You just sit there.
Yeah, but I suppose it's one of the worst ones. If you've got the demons, if you've got like demons from the night before, a lot of self-doubt, a lot of self-loathing, then you go to your job and someone dies. As if, like, there's a level of self-loathing that would take over even more, and you would just have so many more demons. How was work today? So hungover. I didn't notice this 5-year-old was just at the bottom, just having a sleep.
And honestly, people are mad. People are pissed off. But it is a hot room, though, isn't it? If you do go in there, you know, I feel like being hungover, one of the worst parts is you can't really regulate your body temperature. And in that big, steamy, stinky room, the chlorine everywhere.
Yeah.
Kids taking a shit. Yeah, it's maybe not the best environment. But being a lifeguard on the beach, now we're talking.
That's different, though, because he's a Manu Surf Club. Like, that is a whole different kettle of fish. If you put me through a surf lifesaving course in the open ocean, I think I might drown. In terms of
putting your hand up.
Yeah, in terms of I will swim out and put my hand up. Saving lives in a pool, which potentially is not over your head, I reckon I could probably do that. If I can stand up in the pool, I'm pretty sure I'd be a pretty good lifeguard there, but maybe not kind of diving through the surf to rescue someone in a rip 100 meters out from shore.
It is pretty funny that someone puts their hand up to get saved. You swim out, you get washed away, they swim back in.
Yeah.
And then now it's your funeral. And you're like, I was just trying to help.
I've got the fear that's what happened to me every time I go to the beach. Someone's going to put their hand up and I'm like, oh, shit.
Well, you got to look around. You got to go, is anyone else keen here?
Yeah.
I don't really want to I don't want to be on Piha Rescue.
Next one, yours, please.
Yeah, afternoon, helmets. Reese here from Wyok. Hey, I was just listening to Monday's potty, and am I wrong that in assuming once we got rid of fucking miserable Mashy that the mood on the pod might have improved a bit?
Yep.
But instead we get two middle-aged Muppets from Canterbury having a moan for fucking 15 minutes. No one gives a shit about the pools, mate. Grow up.
Oh, there you go.
Love yous, fuck yous, counties, manako, mana.
Oh, there we go. He's almost did the triple threat at the end there.
He really did. Well, I think that it's important to get these things off your chest. You can't bottle them up, mate. Otherwise, you end up taking it out on those who you love. So it's a good place to sort of process your inner demons.
Okay, next one. Yours, please.
Hey, Tony Lyall, you listen to what I give you, boy. You listen to what I give you, boy. You get it down, you boy. You listen to what I give you, motherfucker.
You listen to what I give you. Whew, okay, you get it down.
Well, I did. And
you
good
get
to
it down,
know
you boy.
fart at the end of that one.
Yeah, I don't know. We didn't stick around for it. You get it down, you boy. You get it down, you boy. Next one. Yours, please.
G'day, lads. Sean from Perth here.
G'day, Sean.
Long time, first time, good
welcome.
time, all the time. 5'11", 97 kilos.
Nice.
3.5 flaccid. Mount Rushmore,
right,
New
hero.
Zealand rugby, I think we go pre-2000 and post-2000.
Yeah, good call.
Pre-2000, you probably go Buck, Pine Tree, Jonah, Michael Jones.
Yep.
Post-2000, I think you go Richie, Dan, Martin Onu. Probably Mills.
Ooh.
Yours, please.
Interesting.
No Mills for me, but I'm alert. I'd throw Brodie Retallick in there. World Player of the Year, I think, and a lock.
Really? Okay.
I think, he's a 100-test All Black. He's he name a better lock in the history of, apart from Colin Meads that we've thrown out there, but he played on the wing as well, so who knows what's going on. I think
that's pre-2000.
I think he gets overlooked a lot of the time in these conversations, Brodie Retallick. I think he was such a dynamo in all aspects of the game. He could jump in the line out, run around, score tries, throw audacious dummies. He'd throw up death rock after he scored tries.
Good chat.
Good chat as well. I think he's a dark horse.
I don't mind that pre and post 2000 because I got a lot of correspondence around Dave Gallagher, around George Napier should have been in there. around the kind of Colin Meads kind of. So that I don't know about Buck Shelford, and I'm not sure about him being in the legendary. He was a great player and did change the way we played the game. It obviously introduced the haka in a more of a meaningful way as well to the All Blacks.
Yeah, there's almost needs to be like a playing Rushmore and a vibe Rushmore, because then I think if you were chucking it vibe out there, then you are making room for a guy like maybe that's where Ma Nonu lives.
Oh, and Zinzan Brook as well. I mean,
he's got to be on the vibe.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay, how many more yours pleases do we have? We've got one more to go on this Thursday. Yours please.
Morning, Cunts. Daniel here from Browns Bay. Just listening to Tuesday's podcast. Regarding the Warriors at Eden Park, I think they would fill it up, and they should do it for the fans so all of us punters can get a ticket.
Yeah.
But the corporate suite is under construction, and they've got a deadline for the Aussie test against the All Blacks in October. So unsure if Atlantis would like to sit in the cheap seats. Anyways, love these fuckers.
Oh, interesting insight there, actually, I'm not sure, are all the suites under construction? I'm sure there's just only one side of but look, half the corporate suites at Eden Park are better than the shitters at Go Hard. The Go Hard is not great.
Yeah, you'd have to imagine that there would be pretty remiss to do it in a place that didn't have a corporate suite, though, because that's the main clientele. You get all the teat suckers and the hangers on at those sort of events. So they'd want to get that done quick, smart. And I'd have to imagine that's the corporate suites in the South Stand, which is where that's the main bulk of them. I think the rest of them were all judged up when they had the Women's World Cup here. I think we got the FIFA dollar roll through Eden Park, and they tidied up a lot of the other corporate suites, which is a real hell yeah to FIFA.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. We're going to qualify first, obviously, and then we'll know. But it's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. Stay tuned for that. Obviously, the announcement of the State of Origin there as well. Eden Park have got 3 big league games next year. So
they've got the game basically the weekend before, anticipating having a bunch of NRL fans in town. So they thought, why not? Is it a Sunday game potentially?
Yeah, Sunday game.
Sunday, and then the Origin on the Wednesday. So, but even I guess for league fans from New Zealand in general who maybe don't live in Auckland, you can kind of make a bit of a 4-day session of it and stay up for the Monday, Tuesday, then hit Origin on the Wednesday and retreat with your tail well between your legs to Te Awamutu or, Gore or somewhere like this on the last day.
Can't believe you grouped in the beautiful rose town of Te Awamutu with Gore.
Eastern Southland is a beautiful place, mate. Let's not go full Jeremy Wells on it and dissing Gore. It's a beautiful place. Underrated.
They should replace the brown trout with a rainbow trout, though, just to honour Jeremy Wells and Mikey Haddock.
I think that would be... I can't believe they haven't already done it. That's a great shout.
Righto. Thanks for joining us, Tony Lyall from Melbourne tomorrow. James McConey and Matt Heath joining us on the agenda. We were supposed to have a couple of rugby players today, but they're too focused on the Battle of the Bridge.
They're too dialed in.
Yeah, they're too dialed in. But we'll be back tomorrow with another agenda. Tony, take care out there, and we'll see you later.
Hold it up.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast, brought to you by Export Ultra. For more episodes, like and follow on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.